Hi, Sarah, Linda Artisani Bookkeeping, and Sarah,
Sarah Prevost, Vintage Labs, and together we have
the Proper Trust.
yeah.
So we have a firm together. We work together on a lot of projects. Lately, it's been working more on Proper Trust than anything else, which is a good thing. And we run across tricky transactions. And one of the things we do offer as well is a subscription with us to help you with LeanLaw and QuickBooks and really anything related to law firms and all the transactions that happen. Sarah and I work with a lot of different variety of law firms, and we've seen a lot of scenarios and things that can happen, which we would call this one a tricky transaction. So I'm going to share my screen and you can kind of talk us through what happened here.
Sure, yeah.
So here we are. We have a client named Jonathan Fishman.
Famous guy here.
Jonathan Fishman from LeanLaw, but we used his name.
Yeah. So what has occurred and what makes this tricky is we have a payment that was received either by anybody, a receptionist or anyone. It came in on basically the parent level is what we want to call it. And it needs to actually be applied to a matter within that grouping. So we need it to be applied to a matter level to an invoice that's already open. As you can see, we have no way to apply it.
There's no invoices to click off here. So you're a little bit stuck. So what would we do to fix this? Because it's been deposited. You can see it's deposited directly to the bank account.
Yeah. So in this situation, what we'll want to do is, can you go to the invoice for me?
So here's the invoice.
And this is where we'd like it to come. So what we'll need to do is basically undo the payment. Now, the problem is with the payment, there's a couple scenarios with that. If you go back to that payment, Linda.
It could be in a bank, it could be reconciled. It could have a lot of issues.
Could have a lot of issues. So if you're going to undo it, what's going to make it tricky, and it's not even attached to an undeposited funds account. So the first thing I would do is make it to an undeposited fund account right now to save our headache.
Which is right here.
And
that will mess up the bank record.
It will.
If it was reconciled. Obviously it's not because it's March, and typically you'll find these before the bank being reconciled. So I'm going to save it as a credit again.
Yeah. And then, so now that we've done that, what we can do is we can go back in, and it's unattached itself now. We've got this in a safe spot. We can go back into that same payment, and now we can go ahead and move it from the parent to the matter.
And it warned you. It's going to make it, that you can't apply it. And see what it did? It was $300 and now it's $0.
So there's a couple things that you're going to want to do to help yourself. You're either going to want to have it written down, or you want to have a screenshot of it. You want to make sure that you're tracking the amount so you're not having to constantly go in and out of the screen. And pick the invoice that it needs to apply to. As you notice, sometimes it just automatically defaults
what it wants to when it was applied to this one before. And then we could, in fact, put it right back to trust again here, the trust account.
We could, yeah, exactly. At this point, you can move it. So.
And now we're able to do that change. And now it's clear. Now you see it's, oh, it did not apply. Why is it unapplied? I didn't click the button.
Uh-oh.
Now it will be applied.
Now it'll be applied.
Well, let's hope so. Let's see if it stayed stuck. And it's stuck. You can see that it got applied, and now this is partially paid, and it's all good. So that's just one scenario. There's many scenarios when this can happen. We have a couple law firms that we ask, but they have receptionists taking the payment in. And sometimes one law firm we work with, they actually take the payment in before the matter's even happening, that the person comes in, they take the money, and then it gets sent to the next people to start to create all the documents and the paperwork and setting it up pretty much within the LeanLaw, creating the matter and everything. So that this can happen. That happens quite often. So that's the short way to do it. And there's that's the easy way. Obviously, if there's a credit card or anything like that, it will make it a lot more complex. There's lots more complex, tricky transactions that we can demonstrate, but this is certainly one of them that's got a few steps to it. So hopefully that's helpful, and we'll be back for more.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching. Bye now.
Bye-bye.